again, one more time. Ah, there we go. Now it's working. Aha. The stream key for some reason just went and reset itself, I guess. All right. Now we're good. All right. A little hiccup in the system. Here, Golden. Yeah, it'll be cool to figure out a whole mod kit, figuring out like what things we should expose. I think we should include like some really basic wall meshes. I feel like that would help people just get started on making things. I feel like that'd be cool. That just means I'd have to release my blueprint, which, you know, would suck, but I feel like it would help, making it so people can just build things faster. So yeah. You had a pizza? Okay. Now what? Now what? We got the condensed crosshair UI. Aim assist intensity could be a cool one to get going. What do I feel like? Obviously, being able to clear a binding would be a good thing to add in. Updating the tutorial would probably be pretty good. Should be like yellow at the top here. Literally there's like a review that's like, hey, I'd love to see being able to have a body shield. And in my head I'm like, brother, that's in the game right now. It's just we don't show it in the tutorial, so they don't know it's there. I'd love to see body shields. Just imagine you beat up a guy and then you have a body shield. It's like, yeah, I can imagine that because I can literally see it. How do I see myself in 10 years, seriously speaking? I don't know, hopefully healthy. Hopefully healthy. Hopefully with a second game or maybe even a third game released. I don't know. That'd be cool. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know. I don't really try to. I don't really try to think too much about that. I try to think about the right now. What's the right now so I can help future me. Right, we have this bug. Reload bullet missing in the chamber 1 visually in the Hunter 500 after restarting the chapter. Yup. Yup. You're Manny. Good evening, Agent Crimson. It's me. It is I. Agent 69. All right, that bug. Both hands play recoil animation. Right. What are some big tasks that give big value? This I've not been able to reproduce. That's going off here. Players will feel a slight mouse input lag. The thing is, this is all based off of raw input. Enemy quantity discrepancies in levels. I think this one has been fixed. Executing an enemy with a melee weapon equipped, not giving a magazine. I don't put that in the can't reproduce. Because I've tried. Player runs into random objects, might be due to different flow meshes. That, I don't know what the hell's going on. We have certain players that have very weird collisions where they randomly start running into things. And I have no idea what's going on there. Literally no idea. Because there's no collision there. So I have no idea. Zombie survival game at some point, man. Maybe that's what we'll be working on in 10 years. My career killer, the thing that kills my entire career, attempting to make a zombie survival game. That's going to be the next piece of the puzzle. Okay, this is taking a while to load. I'm a little concerned now. There is nothing that I can see that would somehow get in the way of a player's collision there, which is super weird. And it happened in the club level. Where's the club? Over here. It happens in the club level and on the rooftop here. But there's literally nothing here. So they get stuck like here. On this like mesh right here. Which is very weird. Maybe a random item gets teleported to that spot due to a random thing. If something were to teleport there, we'd at least see it. Items, though, generally... don't have any, like, blocking collision. So I literally don't really know what they're running into. It's a very weird bug, and it happens in random spots. This one was the reproducible spot for them. They like ran into like a random collision box right here. Maybe there's something like really big that's there. But the thing is, other players would see it and run into it. So what's the problem? Seem normal? There's one spot right here. It just looks like it's slightly offset. Maybe I need to like remove this cube underneath. I think, does this have collision? It does. I don't know. I feel like if there were a collision here, from a logical standpoint, I would know where it is and I'd see it. So something maybe is spawning here. Not that I know of. I don't know. Weird shit. This also needs to be rebuilt. It's just a bunch of cubes. We have wasted light maps. It's like stupid past me. This is early development building level. Did you fix the YouTube? Well, I have less ads. I did fix the YouTube. Summer goal of getting my Steam page up is now toast because my PC's motherboard is all messed up. Dude, PC issues suck, man. Godspeed. Godspeed, lad. Zombie survival ultra realistic open world VR. I don't think you could do ultra realistic and VR together. Well, I guess, well, Half-Life Alyx I wouldn't say is ultra realistic. It's got that Valve style to it. Zombie killer Jeep and chainsaw. That's probably not the type of zombie game I would make. I don't know, dude. That's a weird bug. It's one that I will not be able to figure out. I feel like this has to be some sort of CPU, like hardware issue that's like somehow getting in the way. Yeah. We do have to figure out the FPS drops and the memory leak. Still trying to figure out where that is occurring. Where that might be occurring, I'm not sure. Could be because of Slate, because of the HUD. Very probable. There's a lot of things that are not very optimized in that HUD, to be honest. Hit up Sass. Hit up Evan. Boom. Let's do a little bit of play testing. Let's just play the game a little bit. And then see what maybe we'd want to work on. At the gym right now, need some good game dev ASMR. Listen, man, you don't want to listen to the Doom soundtrack? You gotta get pumped. You gotta get pumped! Also, apparently some people were saying that they had auto aim issues here. I gotta figure out where people are having these auto aim issues. All right, we gotta also add, I think, what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? There was something I wanted to say, and I don't even remember. Oh, right, a little bit of a little bit of acceleration on the thumbstick. I don't know how that works though. What if the bug is happening not because of collision issues and all of else, but the player getting stuck in between some seams? It's possible. Like maybe they get stuck in a state and die, and then maybe they get stuck in like the diving state and they die, and then that's what's causing it. Like it could be that somehow. That's kind of a funny bug. I'm trying to click on this and it's not clicking on that. Hey, Condi. Hey, or. Am I happy with the launch? Yeah, you know, overwhelming, but it's been pretty good. No complaints. There's a bug where when I press escape, the pause is delayed. I don't know what is happening there because I've tried so many different things to fix the. Oh yeah, another thing. You can't highlight this on controller. Interesting. I gotta figure out where that's happening because I've tried to do some fixes there, so. Yeah, we gotta do something with the thumbstick there, or being able to highlight the button over there. That's a bit problematic. Maybe we make it an actual input button that you can click. That's really annoying. I'm noticing one issue where it's like I try to highlight this and I click it and then it highlights a different level. It's not the end of the world, but yeah. Yeah, I'd probably track how long they've been moving it. I don't know how I would do acceleration. I don't know how that works in other games. Like, I don't even know what you would call that. Thumbstick acceleration. Game dev thumbstick acceleration. Um, hmm. How would you even go about doing look acceleration without it being so like annoying? I think that's a problem. If I add it in the game, it would have to be very subtle. I feel like. Look through this quickly. Seems like it might help. Oh. There's a gym level. I'll blast the gym soundtrack in the background just for you. There is a gym in the game somewhere. It's very like just a very small area though. It could be those seams, by the way. It could be those seams. Maybe I could just convert that into one of my floor blueprints. That turns it into instance floors pieces. More gradual turning motion acceleration by definition occurs with the fusion arises when people refer to games as having more acceleration. Actually means that the increase in turn speed requires more time, i.e. lower acceleration. You know, Valp. Haven't been able to stop playing. I hope you're enjoying it, Daniel. I used to think you were the only dev working on the game. It is me and a music artist. So I'm the only one doing all the system stuff. Nice haircut. Thanks. Hey, thanks. I just want to see how do games generally approach this, if at all. I almost kind of want to install I almost kind of want to install Destiny because someone was saying the Destiny controller stuff feels really good. Just so I can see what Destiny's aiming feels like to get an idea. Maybe we'd have an aim, like a speed curve. Maybe we'd have a speed curve or something. Console shooters often limit the rate at which rotation speed can increase, producing a feeling of sluggishness, or fighting the controller is most noticeable when making rapid sweeps to the reticle. The stick is moved. Expected response, actual response. Why is the quality so... Okay, there we go, it's a little better. Yo, Diego, I bought the game and I'm loving it so far. Hey, hell yeah. Glad you're enjoying it.
Shit my pants, I did. Huh?
Am I going to add new guns and levels in the future, or are you done with the game?
Hey, look at me, I'm a large red panda.
Red Panda, thank you for the prime. How are you, man? 19 months. Hot damn. New guns and levels. No promises. No promises. People want to take you cereal? I don't want people to take me cereal. I'm not cereal. I'm anti-cereal. Yeah, no new plans for more levels, weapons, mechanics, that sort of stuff. If I end up adding it in, it's just because just feel like adding it in. The number one thing I do plan on adding in is trying to add in a bunch of modding support for like custom levels, that sort of stuff. That's the biggest thing that I'm actually will be working on in the future. In terms of adding in new weapons and stuff, I can't promise anything. If I add it in, it's just because I felt like putting it in at a random moment. Most of the things I'll focus on is just polish, making things feel better, whatnot. That's about it. How does hyper-violent empowerment sound as a genre? That's like games like Doom. You got the name of the game is like, it's like, I don't know why I can't think of it. Mortal Kombat? No, I'm thinking God, hyper-violent empowerment. I would picture a game like, hold on, I'm gonna find it. Give me a second. Hold your horses. I'm almost there. What's it called? I have it on Steam, don't I? Or is it on Epic Game Store? No, I have it on Steam, pretty sure. Gears of War? Maybe. Why can't I think of the name of the game? They have like a really good soundtrack. Guys. I don't know. Trepang? Trepang's pretty good at that, I would say. God, I can't think of it. Ultra Kill. There we go. Ultra Kill. Hyper-violent empowerment. Yeah. Yeah. What am I working on today? Just anything that's on the list, and then trying to figure out what else we'd want to do as well. and kind of going from there, really. Maybe we work a little bit on mod support stuff. Right now I'm looking at like aim acceleration on controller to see if it's like something we should add in. Because it's extremely linear. So I want to see if this could be a potential thing to do. Bellifer. You worry the bug where if you counter an enemy that comes from behind, he teleports to the front? Yeah, that's something that happens. I don't really work... I think what could be a cool fix for that... like I could make it so I counter them where the enemy is, but then the problem is the player then... Like, I think what would be a cool fix for that is somehow coming up with an animation that matches the actual, like, positioning. But making new animations is a tough thing, so... But yeah, there's some things I want to fix with, like, placements, with executions and whatnot. Have a great stream. Thank you, Red Panda. I appreciate it, man. Hope you're doing well. Happy to see you still going? Yeah, still going. You know, Carlson? Have I always been using UE? I have, yeah. Hotline Miami? Hotline Miami, yeah, I would say is within that realm. Doom is a very good example of that as well. By monitoring the angular velocity of the reticle while fast twitching, my approach is capture video of the shooter turning quickly rather than manually operating the analog stick. Apply a step voltage directly. Huh. So this isn't really aim acceleration, or I guess it is aim acceleration. It's more like how quickly someone uses their thumbstick. Oh wow, dude, what the hell? Look at the amount of acceleration. I feel like it ramps up. Unless that was them ramping it up, which is based on what it seemed. You know, I'm gonna be honest. The crosshair is way too fucking low for me. Like, I understand Halo's a very, like... And we did the same thing with Superhard, but very subtly. The crosshair is not exactly in the center. It's actually slightly lower than the center. But man, look how far down it is. It's so fucking far down. And I know the reasoning for that is because there's a lot more verticality with Halo, so they want you looking higher up. But like, dude, it's so far down. It's almost kind of weird. Anyways, that's not what we're looking at right now. Can I add ground loot weapon as primary weapons? The problem is oh shit. Interesting. Is that the thumbstick rotating, or like it's constantly speeding up? Yeah, the system doesn't really allow for the secondary weapons to be the primary weapon, unfortunately. And I don't know how that would work, I guess design-wise, making it so one of the secondary weapons could be the primary weapon. I know a few people have requested an idea like that. I just don't know how I would approach it. Yeah, I could try to maybe think about it, but How'd you come up with the fighting images? What martial arts did you use? I didn't really, we didn't do any mocap. A lot of it is like marketplace assets and then doing a lot of polish ourselves. But if I remember correctly, there's a bunch of different ones that we looked into and tried to mess with. I think there was a bit of Muay Thai at one point that we were looking at. I think a couple of the animations are from that pack. Some of it is just straight up like boxing, pretty sure. There's some... What are the kind of stuff were we looking at? Some of them are literally just like straight up wrestling moves for some of the executions. Some fun ones in there. And various others. There's a bunch of like, I think it's mixed. There's a lot of mixed ones because we use a bunch of different assets from different spots. So, yeah. Interesting. So it seems like the acceleration is going up. Yeah, I don't know how to do this in a way that it won't get in the way of... I don't really know what to take from this post, to be honest. Rotation angle in degrees. Okay, so they do two different tests. Rotation speed. Huh. I think most games have it so it starts really quick, then slows down so you can quickly turn left to right. Maybe, yeah. I feel like they are using some sort of like speed curve. They're definitely using some sort of speed curve. What the hell? The Xbox version is quite heavy on aim smooth, and the shooter starts off at such a slow rotation speed that there isn't really any way to avoid a lengthy period of aim acceleration. It's actually a weird bug in the game that causes the rotation speed to plummet instantly by a factor of 2 after a second of time axis. Huh? What? Unreal Tournament. What the hell? Okay, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what can I take from that from a practical standpoint and actually apply it. I tried to find a video to show off Destiny acceleration, but all I got was, here are the best controller settings. Yeah, great. Those types of videos. Seen some wrestling. Yeah, wrestling, jiu-jitsu takedowns. Yeah, there's some jiu-jitsu. Some of those takedowns are from jiu-jitsu, I can imagine. Yeah, and kickboxing. There are more kickboxing things that I want to add into the game, actually. Like at one point I was thinking of adding in hold buttons. So I don't know if this is going to load in. I don't even know what the save is. Oh, okay. Apparently we do have a save. I was thinking of making it so like if you hold the punch button, you can do like a really strong punch attack. And if you held the kick button, it would probably do the current kick it has. But if you did a light one, it would be like a light side, like a side kick. I guess you'd call it like a kick check, I guess. But I don't know if it'd be a good idea for me to add that in now. Now that we change, like, making huge adjustments like that might not be... Might not be the best idea. I don't know yet. We'll see. Also, very weird. Did some testing on the Steam version. The package version of the game has a very, very different... What? Has a very different Z velocity. So in this version, I can jump through this window no problem. In the packaged version of the game, you run into the wall. So that's interesting. Yeah, I don't want to make too many adjustments that start to make the aiming feel sluggish. That would be problematic. Taking enemy as a shield would be great. You mean like this? One thing I do need to do on controller, it's much easier in top-down, is being able to throw enemies easily. Like here you can see, top-down I can throw this guy really easily. I can throw him at a wall, you know, and that speeds up how far you throw them. But in third person, that's kind of hard to do, as you can imagine. You can kind of only do like a front throw, which is kind of boring. What? Didn't you know that was possible? Yeah, it's not in the tutorial. I do have to put that in the tutorial. Is that you can grab enemies. Can you please release it on PS5? I'd like to. It'd be cool to at some point. Someone had a bug where they somehow ended up with their baseball bat in their hand. Somehow. Like while holding up the gun. I want to say they negative reviewed the game because of that. So I need to figure out how that happened. I don't know how that happened. Trying to... How do they... How could they have... How could they have done that? What did they do? I'm trying to figure it out here. How the hell did they... It happened to me earlier as I was picking up the bat as I died. Interesting. Okay, so let's try... Okay, so you died while picking up the bat. I got 3 armor. Let me change my difficulty real quick, otherwise we're going to be here for a while. How do you grab them? Which key? On mouse and keyboard is default G for grab, and then you have to hold it. So just tapping it isn't enough. You have to hold it. On controller, it's right button, RB, by default, and you can obviously change all these inputs. And additionally, it's right here, grab. You can also change how it works here. I plan on actually, this is one of the buttons I need to put a toggle grab in. Actually, let me put that on my to-do list for today. Actually, Add toggle grab setting. Yeah, there we go. I don't know. Is there toggle grab? Do I just forget that I put that in at some point? I don't think so, right? You have it? Toggle. Oh, right. Toggle grapple. Oh, it's called grapple. What is the thing that I wanted to add for toggling? Oh, toggle dive. Toggle dive. Okay, so there is a toggle. I remember there was a toggle for it. I just... Guys, listen, I'm lost in the sauce. There's too many fucking settings in the damn game. We should honestly change the name of it. It says toggle grapple right now, but in the inputs we call it toggle, we call it grab. See a bug there. Controller navigation in settings menu is slightly off at the very bottom. Okay. Speaking of a weapon queued actions, it could have been happening as lowers it, but it's all the queue going. I swear I thought I fixed that by canceling the looting when you die, but maybe I didn't. So let's... Where's the baseball bat? Oh shit. It's gonna end up making me do a counter attack, so I need to... You know what? Hold on. Gun guy? Hold on, trying to remember what all the buttons are. Okay, beat. That didn't help me. I think that happened too quickly. It has to be like in the middle of me grabbing it. God, the aim assist is pretty damn strong on controller. I can see why that person wants it like an intensity. Maybe this is a bug that only occurs on the shipping build. Okay, I think I did it like right on time there. This might be a bug that's only occurring on the shipping build, which is weird. Damn it. Hit me! No, not... Okay, let me see what's going on. Test for looting, la 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 la. Attach gun to player. Is dead. We check if we're not dead. So how the hell did this happen? Not dead. Okay, makes sense. Maybe we can make it so when the player dies, we cancel this attachment altogether. That being said, it reads if we're dead right here. And then on completed, This is a do once, so that's fine. It checks if the previous weapon. Hmm. Man, I don't know. I do not know. I don't know how that would be happening. Is it just the mesh that pops up? Let's try it on a shipping build. Maybe it's like one of those things that only occurs in a shipping build for some odd reason. Let's see if we can just do it on mouse and keyboard. He can't see me. What? I knew about. Whoa, what? None of them spawned one? That's crazy. That was too early, I think. Wow, that's very specific. You know, ICA? Is there a Discord? There is. Shit. I'd have to. Hold on. I'd have to copy paste it. Hold on. There we go. That's too early again. I have to be like. Really slow with it. It feels so weird having this crosshair. Uh-oh. I'm out of dodge. It has to be like... it has to be some sort of like... magically... the right moment type of thing. Maybe what I could do is... just in case on the game starting, maybe we like... No, that wouldn't have worked. I think it literally like canceled midway because I was dead. So I don't know how that bug happens. Right there. See, it canceled attaching to the character's hand. How would that happen? Again. Did it again. Maybe hitting E when I'm dead? I tried to pick it up and then restart super quick. But I don't think that's it. Maybe it could be, I don't know. Because I'm pretty sure the item gets deleted when we restart anyways, so. I don't know. I have no clue how to reproduce that bug. I think what I can do as a precaution is set the weapon back to its original gun model just in case. Just in case. I tried to see if I could pick it up while I was in the death screen. Which I don't think I can. Wow. Could be how the blueprint is set up to call the item. Maybe? Well, it's obviously something in the blueprint. If it's the... Let's see if we can reproduce it. I'll try like 2 more times. The only way I could see this happening is if somehow this gets reset to not be dead. And then the thing goes through. There's no other way that we set the static mesh here. Here we set the static mesh here. Here we set here. Hey, Danger, thanks for becoming a member. Thank you. How are you? I've had this happen before, and it's always come from retrying a level many times, not from frame perfect picking up a weapon on death. Huh. So it sounds like the weapon's not there anymore, and it's been dropped. It's just that the mesh of the weapon is now whatever you had picked up previously. So a duct tape fix would just be resetting it back to its original mesh. When you respawn. In those instances, I'd respawn with the secondary weapon in my inventory. Oh. I paid 750 Turkish lira for the subscription. That's a whole ass meal right there, I imagine. Actually, how much is a meal in Turkey? I'd respawn with a secondary weapon. Okay, so then that must mean... Maybe instead of retry from checkpoint, we do restart mission, and maybe restart mission is doing things differently. Let's see if that's the case. Damn, I thought I clicked it right on the dot. Hold on. Couple more tries. We'll get it. What if we go into slow-mo? Hold on, we can maybe get this. Come on. I don't know. A dollar costs 40 Turkish lira? Is that enough for a kebab? Yum. I don't know how to reproduce the baseball bat. What about swapping to the bat when the bat is on your back? I don't know. There I had the issue where the pause menu took an extra press to open, which I thought I fixed, but I think I'm being trolled. The engine is trolling me. Maybe it is when I'm swapping. There I just swapped and it didn't change it. Let's see if swapping it somehow is what causes it. It's such a minute thing that occurs. I don't know. I literally don't know. It could be swapping it rather than picking it up. But so far, I am not experiencing it. It could be a specific setting that's causing it. Maybe, you know what? Let's try it with the default weapon. Because I'm using the Deagle right now. And that could potentially be the problem with trying to test this. Okay. Let's try swapping. So far, nothing. So far, nothing. Let's try swapping it to the other hand. So far, nothing there. Lock the frame rate to 30 FPS. Change the resolution to anything with 16 by 10. Make sure you're not running Windows 22H2 or later. It should be really easy to replicate. You say that as a joke, but I'm pretty sure Windows 11 has been causing some compatibility issues with the game, unironically. Maybe you have the gun visible, but the baseball bat is still in the other hand. Visually. When that bug happens, if anybody experiences it again, do you still see the gun, but also the other weapon? Bought the game 2 weeks ago, been hooked. Hey, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Reamer. Also, the dude. Thank you for becoming a supporter. The dude. The dude. The guy. The man. The myth. Does the game implement the wick flick when you reload? We do not have the infamous wick flick, unfortunately. I've thought about it, though. I don't know where I would put it. I feel like it'd be cool as an execution if I were to animate that. I feel like that'd be cool. Did I get a haircut? No, I just magically I'm balding. I'm balding. Very intense case of Baldening. I've noticed that as a bug reamer. I don't know why it happens. Let me look at it right now, actually. Maybe there's something I missed. That is in gameplay. Like, funny enough, I actually have not been able to reproduce the issue of it not saving, but I have heard of people mentioning it. So I know it's occurring. I just don't know why it's occurring. Save child settings. Maybe save child settings is not what we want. Let's try this one. Applies and saves a setting. What is the setting? Oh, game.crosshair RGB. Okay, so key, and then we want to get the value, but let's just do this. Get string cvar. Yep, there we go. We'll see if that fixes it. Because technically in engine, it's funny. I can do it in engine. I can change the color settings. Let's change a bunch of them. Lower the transparency, lower the darkness, up the saturation. Let's change to a green. I have the green. Now I quit, go back in, continue. Let's see if it pops up. I have the green. I'm also apparently damaged. That's a funny bug. Yeah, we'll see if maybe doing that change helps. We'll see. But yeah, I've heard of a few people running into that. Your subscription fee is so low that you can convince all Turks to become subscribers. I don't even know if I have any control over the currency exchange. So that's YouTube choosing that. Which I think is great, because otherwise it'd be inaccessible. Now, the baseball bat staying in the hand. Let's see if I, maybe the holstered secondary somehow, like... Maybe this doesn't get reset, although it should. I don't know. Yeah, if I get more details on this issue, I can try to figure it out. Like a video or something. Like a video could help. No, Sass, I'm not balding. I think. I don't think I am. I did get a haircut, though. That was a while ago, I think. When was that? I don't remember. Listen, I don't remember anymore. Time passes in a different way these days. The world is spinning faster, if I remember correctly. Is that what is that what people are saying these days? Thank you, Vito. Thank you. Is the bug when you try to pick up a baseball bat and you already have a baseball bat in your hand? There's a different system going on right here. There's a different thing going on in here, and there's a delay of 0.5 seconds. Hold on. Maybe we're on to something. That doesn't help. None of them dropped any. Okay. The bug might be when you already have a baseball bat. Okay, well, maybe not. Maybe it is. Maybe, I don't know. Let's... Maybe the bug is when you have... Don't auto switch the gun. Don't switch weapon on pickup. Which hopefully is still working. Okay, good. It still works. So far, nothing. So far, nothing, yeah. Well, this sucks. I only have one baseball bat. Hold on, I'll be right back. Give me a second. Hey. Scotty, what the hell is that icon? Borderlands 4 badge? Borderlands 4 badge? I don't know how this baseball bat issue is happening, but... I don't know. I don't know how it's happening. You know something I do see happening, though? I feel like his arm's kind of fucked up. You guys notice that? When I respawn? His arm is a little different. Am I going crazy? Dude, I'm not going crazy. His arm is in a slightly different position. Now it's fine. He did die. It's not what I mean. It's, it's like his animation stayed in that pose. See? Look. It's different. Yeah, maybe he's in like a one-handed pose. How does that happen again? How do we dictate which pose we use? Weapon anim style. So maybe that means there is something lingering. Not in here. It would have to be in our animation blueprint then. One-handed primary. So if we set that to true. Aha! You see that? Yeah, you see that? Look at that. I think that's what's going on. So what's not updating here? Is it maybe the animation blueprint? Oh no, because if there's a baseball bat in your hand, that's not the animation blueprint. It looks very much like this is the issue. Yeah. Let's see, where does this get set? Because this could be an indicator of what's going on. Should one hand primary? Interesting. Where does this get called? Right here. Interesting. I think the variable is persisting. What the hell? What the hell? So this is, if it's not valid, then this would be false, right? So it's like, what the hell is going on? We're slowly figuring out where the problem lies. So this is somehow not being reset upon death, even though it literally, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to drop the weapon. And destroy it. Pirate software, if he was good. Nah. I'm not that good. I'm an idiot. If I was good, don't you think the game would be overwhelmingly positive? Think about it. I'm a doofus. All right, hold on. Where are we? Where's death? Show me death. Enemy death? No. Damage death. Let's go to our overly long code. Death. Player injured. Release grab event. Kill all enemy brains. Clear invalid instance. Kills. Clear aim assist cursor. Single physical items. Deactivate physical animation. Where is our drop weapon? Aha! Delete secondary weapon. Wait, what? What the fuck? This is supposed to destroy it. This is some bullshit. Past me was on. Past me was cooking. Why is it not working? Past me knew what was up. Shit doesn't fucking what? Maybe it's not clearing it because the weapon doesn't exist yet, but it's technically not. I think the problem is here. Do we have to somehow check if the player is dead again right here? Is there a delay in here? No, it's not. That's impossible. No, it's not possible. I guess as a safety precaution, if it's not valid, just reset the variable, I guess. Because maybe it's still holding, it might still be holding a reference to something. And then, you know, shit happens, I guess. So this will clear it no matter what, just in case. Just in case. Very weird. Because I bet you if I pick up... Hey, can one of you motherfuckers drop a baseball bat, please? Oh my god. Thank you. Found a new bug while trying to help recur. But if you hold to throw a weapon, then while holding press and restart mission. Yeah, we have a couple bugs like that. I haven't fixed those just yet because they're so hyper specific to do that bug. I know what you're talking about though. Yeah. There's another issue where if you hold an enemy and then restart the mission, it'll do something similar like that. I have that one on my list as well. Twitch suddenly requested for verified accounts only, but when I try to add a phone number, it doesn't send me the code. I don't think I've changed anything in the past, well, during the stream, so that's weird. Twitch being Twitch. Amazon being Amazon. Doing their Amazon thing. Why does the glass break look different in the back versus the front? Interesting. Oh, it's because there's like no shadows or something? Funny little thing. You can pop the tires on the cars. I know. I don't know why we put that in the game, but it's in the game. It'll deflate the car a little bit. Don't ask me why I put that in the game. I don't know why. But it's in the game. Should do the fire hydrants too. Don't have one for the fire hydrant. That would be a funny one. We have one for fire extinguishers though. I think we have one in this level somewhere. Pretty sure. In the back there. It can kill enemies. And I think it can also kill the player if it runs into you. But yeah, we don't have anything for the hydrants, unfortunately. That'd be fun. That'd be a fun little thing. Car door closing tech when? No, don't put me down that path. I will go down that path. I don't want to. I will not go down that path. It will not end well. Weirdly enough, I can't kick there. Those extinguishers, though, I found out they can kill you, and I got killed by one. I thought about making it so it doesn't kill you, but it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. Excuse me? Shoot steering wheel, activates horn. Important. No, we're not. No. Don't make me do it. I will. Weird. You can kick it on the sides, but not the back. Yeah, it might be just like a little bug base eater. I'm not sure. How do you go in third person? You can click P, or it's in the settings menu as well. How about airbags? How about just simulating everything? You know, you chop down a tree, get wood, make a fireplace. You know, why not? Why stop there? Okay. Do some cars have car alarms? They do not. Would be a neat detail. Maybe like, maybe not when shooting the car, but maybe when like an explosion goes off or something. Anyways, I don't think this would fix anything. It'd be weird if it does, but the problem is technically stemming from here. It thinks the secondary weapon is valid, which it's not. Because we literally clear it right here. I would use the breakpoints, but I so far have not been able to reproduce it in the editor, and I haven't been able to reproduce it on a shipping build either. So I just need to figure out, is there a specific setting that people are using that's causing that? Like, one thing we could test for is if that variable is being reset upon death. Let's see if that is reproducible here. Aha! It is. Okay. I'm just gonna pause the game because it's like constantly setting my crosshair in the middle. Spawned. None. Okay. Where are we at over here? Idle pistol. Wait, what? Wait, what? Alright, someone explain to me. How's that pathway going to... Okay, so it thinks the one-handed primary is set to true, which is, it's not. But in here, it's set to false. Okay, so this is set to none. But somehow this... Oh! Oh. I found the problem, guys. I done goofed. So the variable is being set to none. The problem is I'm an idiot. We figured it out. I'm just fucking stupid. Okay. Let me make sure that I didn't break anything with the deagle, because here it wasn't being set, which is very weird. So, which means it's possible I've been playing the wrong animations this entire time with the deagle. I don't have it unlocked. Why does the animation... You guys see that? Why are you doing that? Don't tell me this being a bug was actually better for us. No, it's still happening. What the shit? Mother... I'd want to fix that, but where's that occurring? Let me, Deagle, Akimbo Deagle goes down to Akimbo Deagle. Cached pose. Where are you? Aha, hey, how are you? What's going on? Trick posing. Aha, okay. Idle. Mm-hmm. Maybe we slow you down. Play rate, 0.2. Why is that happening? That's such a weird bug. Why is that happening? Hold on. It could be a blending issue. I think it's this. Some here is not. Some in here is not doing what I want to do. Could be this spine 02 call that we have here, which is set to just a blend depth of 1. Is this a simulation game? I wouldn't really call it a simulation game. It's just a game. It's just a game. It's a little fun little video game, you know? This is a fun little goofy video game. You know how it go. I have a little bit of an idea. Do we have a spine 03? 01, 02, 03. I think so. What if we what if we do -1? I want to see what happens. Well, he just looks away from everything. He just doesn't give a shit. He's wicked. Let's turn off mesh space rotation blend. Let's see if that changes anything. One of the idle animations is causing him to become drunk. Preview base pose, Kimbo Deagle. Maybe this is the problem. But he's not moving that much. That's kind of weird. He's not really moving that much. Oh wait, that's a different animation. Wait, no, it's not. It's the same one. What other? Oh. What if we do trick pose forward as the base pose? But then that means we have no movement. Let's see if it at least fixes it. Well, it's good to know that it doesn't fix it. I'm kind of glad that it doesn't. If anything, that's maybe good for us. Cool guys don't look where they fire. It looks so much nicer when the head actually looks at where you're pointing at, but it is kind of cool. You know, it's cool points. There is some cool points. Here's a little like behind the scenes that you guys can see though. We have the left hand and then the right hand, and they both do different things. What is going on? I think it's the blend. Clavicle left? Maybe. I don't think I made it slightly worse. Layered blend doesn't really make much sense for this, does it? And it honestly, there should be a third blend pose in here actually, now I think about it. Yeah, maybe we can, yeah. If you counter with E while at the same time trying to dive, you break your character and can't proceed. Excuse me? I want to try that one out. If you counter with E while at the same time trying to dive, like countering attack immediately? Mm. I can't. It's not. I don't know how you did that. Maybe. Do you have a? Maybe it's your button setup, Fred. Maybe if I reproduce your button setup. Try and top down. Okay, let's see if that makes a difference. That I do need to fix though. Like you can see the diving kind of breaking a little bit. Performed 10 dodges in a row. I didn't have that? Yeah, I can't dive. Maybe my dive button needs to be a different thing. B. Yeah, I can't dive while countering. So maybe, can you counter while being on the ground? No. I just stared at that man kill me. If you can get me a video of that happening, Fred, maybe I can figure out what's going on. Are you going back to the A option of the blend split and Akimbo Deagle close up? Let me see if it's... No, it actually just completely... So what ends up happening is we change the blend entirely to this one. And what it looks like... Kind of looks like his spine is causing the rotation. It kind of looks like his spine. Let me see if I just do the trick shot. I don't know if that would help. Yeah, his spine is still moving around a bunch. Let's try this. Add a pin. Put this blend pose into here instead. Then in here for this, we're going to say that this pose is on spine 0, 2. I don't know if that's the actual correct way of going about this, but let's see. Hold on. Clavicle left -1 and clavicle right -1. Curiosity has been piqued. No, it's still doing the same thing. Although now the left hand is not doing anything. God, why is he moving around that much? Let's go back to what we had. Maybe the problem isn't stemming from here. Akimbo Deagle goes to here. Akimbo Deagle then goes to here, and then we go through another aim offset. which I don't think should be the problem. You know, Warrior. Do I only develop in Blueprints or hybrid or only C++? 97% of the project for this one is in Blueprint, but there is a little bit of C++. I think this is a non-issue because I think most people are probably not even going to see that slight movement. It's not pretty, don't get me wrong, but yeah, it's basically like mostly in Blueprint. Mostly Blueprint. Yeah, Fred, I'd use OBS if you can. OBS is a good way of Give me a sec. All right, sounds good, brother. You know something I want to try to fuck around with? I did some reading into it a long time ago. If I want to put in a replay editor, I'd have to replicate variables. But I'm curious if I could test it in its current state and what would happen. How much would break if I just did the current system of replay editor right now? Like if I were to do a recording right now, well, how would a replay editor, replay system? Because Unreal has a replay system. Begins recording a replay. If the replay name parameter is not supplied, the replay system can generate a name on its own. Demo record. All right, you guys want to go in on this fuckery with me? Let's see it. Demo record. Test 1. Demo stop. I don't know if that was the command. Was that the command? Demo stop? Demo stop. Demo play. Yeah, this is exact. Wait, wait, hold on. Wait, go back. You cannot play more than one demo at a time. Okay, hold on. Demo stop again. Demo play test 1. Holy moly, yeah, it's basically treating it as, it's literally treating it as a multiplayer scenario. Because technically I shot that explosive barrel. It's just for me to put in, because it's calling client 0. For me to put in a replay editor, I'd essentially have to make it work in multiplayer. I'm going to be honest. I don't think that's worth it, guys. Unless I can somehow make the demo recording not require replication. Even if a project doesn't have a multiplayer mode, any project set up to replicate data is compatible with the replays without the need for further. Yeah. I don't think that's going to be... I don't think that's on the docket, guys. Don't think that's on the docket. I've done an audit of the code and you're good. Just do it, homie. All right, see you in 2029. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm going to be honest. I'd have to replicate the entire game. Now, I could probably do, like, really hacky replication, I would assume. But... is it worth it? Like, how many people would actually use the replay editor? You know, let's be real. Like, it'd be cool, but, like, yeah. Oh, were you able to reproduce it, Fred? Let me see. Huh. And you're on the latest version because you have toggle HUD. Wait, that's so weird. Just buy a replay system in the marketplace? It's that easy, baby. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can reproduce that in... Can you see the video? Yeah, here. I'll show it. Hold on. So he somehow... I tested it. I wasn't able to counter and dive at the same time, but he was somehow able to counter and dive at the same time. And then his character kind of goes into the Michael Jackson mode. Well, hold on. Top down. I'm trying to counter and do the thing at the same time. Dude, I don't know how you did it. Oh, you dove first and then countered. I was countering and then diving. It's, the order is dive and then counter. Figured it out. I think what it is... Okay. Does it only happen in top down? I think it also would happen in third person. I would just have to do the same order of dive and then counter. But we can try it. Most of the game is very similar, luckily, from top down versus third person. Yep, that's me. I'll see you guys later. But hold on. Got him. Okay, yeah. We basically just have to... I don't want to... because I don't want to make it so... Let's see. Can I sidestep and then counter? Right. If I make it so you can't counter after a sidestep, people might not like that. Because then it might feel sluggish. So what we should do... What should we do? What can we do? The easiest thing would be making it so you can't counter while sidestepping, but that might feel like shit. Oh, I don't know. Add a slight delay. I can add a slight delay, but then it feels poopy. I can see if the player character is currently holding the dive button. And that could be a way to check if the person's going to go and try to go into a dive. And then if they try to go into a dive, don't allow the counter and instead do the dodge. You know, we got options of what we can end up doing. Good catch. I'm sure a bunch of people have probably encountered that issue. I've learned something about gamers. They kind of slam their keyboard. You know, don't get me wrong. I used to do that with like fighting games, but it's like there are moments where a gamer will indeed slam the keyboard. Have I played Hong Kong Massacre? I have not. Wait, watch this! Never mind. Never mind. That could have been cool. I know the game. I know the game. Okay, well, I was able to reproduce it, which is good. So I know where the problem is. Thank you, Fred. Appreciate that. I used to do QA for companies for years, so I just had a natural gift to break everything I touch. Yes, that also included my last relationship. Hey, TMI, man, but thank you about the first part. Oh, man. I should get some QA work on the game though. I think the next time I do the game, I'm gonna get like an actual QA team to do a little like month of QA to figure out like bugs, because you know, with this game we did commit a little bit of premature. Never mind. Let me not say that. I was gonna. Yeah, never mind. I'll say it anyways. We did commit a little bit of premature ejaculation with this game by releasing it a little too early. I didn't realize how many bugs were in the game until we released it and everyone's game was breaking and there was crashes and shit. So, yeah. But we did patch out most of the issues. So, yeah, that's good, I guess. Delete project and start CQZ. Peter, when he doesn't know that Ronin's going to be the next project, potentially. Isn't that usually how you find out those? Release it and get it stress tested by the masses? It's one way to go about it, but I feel like that does... Like, I'm sure we probably have a lot of lingering negative reviews because of that first, like, instance of bugs. Did it have an alpha released? We had a whole ass beta branch for the longest time, and I thought it was pretty stable. That beta branch was essentially going to be the 1.0 release. No, not Ronin! Zombie game instead! Bum ba dum bum 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 bum. What the hell is this song? This sounds sick. Oh, it's Dishonored 2. Ah. Not ready for full release. Listen, man, it's my first game. I don't think anything is fucking ready for full release. I don't think my first game was ever going to be ready for full release at all at any point in time. If it was, yeah. I think if it was more polished, it'd be overwhelmingly positive. I think if it looked like a AAA game, maybe it'd be overwhelmingly positive. But I don't think it'll ever look like a AAA game. So, I think that's the reality of it. Yeah. It's super hard to achieve that. You always have a few people screwing it up with stupid reviews. It's not stupid. Some of them are a little stupid, don't get me wrong. Some of them are like skill issue, but then the skill issue could be due to the fact that the game maybe isn't tutorializing things enough, or maybe it's a little bit too complicated in some respects with the amount of inputs and buttons involved and whatnot. There's always not going to be, you know, distant away from it. Or Chinese players complaining about Chinese. I don't know if there's any Chinese players complaining about Chinese. I haven't looked at that. Honestly, I've kind of just like... honestly, I just kind of stepped away from the reviews a little bit mentally. I'm just like... if I look at them, I'm just like... Yeah, there's a little... That's a red bottom... Red down, thumbs up, thumbs down. Anyways. Call me an asshole, but I've just... I think I know what needs to be improved. There's some things that I know I probably won't be able to work on just because of the amount of effort and work that's required to get some things done would be kind of difficult, but... How'd you come up with the name of the game? Thinwick and Sufar? Thinwick was a very old Game Jam version of the game. It looked like a little bit like this. Which I imagine, it's funny because you can see some of the similarities from its old version from 2018. Some of its identity still lingered. Yeah, this was Thinwick, I guess, which is the Game Jam version. And then the full version, I was like, let's come up with a better name. And I was like, Suit for Hire. And I was like, oh, it's like a suit could be considered as like an assassin for hire. That was it. Aren't you supposed to reply to reviews with, why don't you try making your own game? Why Thin? It was, the theme of this Game Jam was... what was the theme? Originally created for an Unreal Engine 4 Game Jam in under 3 days. On Thin Ice was the theme. On Thin Ice. So we thought of On Thin Ice as being, you don't have a ton of bullets. You could die at any second. It was like you're on thin ice. That was kind of like the idea. Yeah. Thinwick. Kind of just like a fun meme name and whatnot. Premature what? Premature game release. Look, don't make me say it again. Video of the game while holding a body shield. Yep. Okay. Got a couple of things we can fix today. Nice. Yep, got ourselves a little idea what to do and whatnot. We've had these 3 bugs here for like the longest time. I would like to get these fixed up. This top one is going to be a lot of work though, because of just how stupid I did some of my stuff. So, which perspective mode do I personally like better? Honestly, I think both are fun. However, from a design aspect of like what the game is trying to be and what it tries to like do, top down technically fits the bill a lot more. Because you have this basically superpower, which is having full awareness of your surroundings, which like you can't really do in third person. It kind of like, you know, you kind of lose out some of that full 360 awareness. But, you know, I can understand why people would have a lot more fun in the third person perspective. It is fun. It's a lot of fun. It's different. But technically in top down, you have a lot more of that like superpower action movie hero awareness that a normal human being wouldn't have. So third person is kind of just like different in the respect that it becomes more human, I guess, in a way, and less action movie-esque in some way, because you lose out on that awareness that you originally would have, if that makes sense. But it's more immersive, so it's like, yeah, you know, I think both are very good, and they fit different desires when playing a game. Yep. Okay. You know what we should do, though? One big thing is we should add a grappling/grabbing tutorial. I gotta at some point go in the tutorial and fucking put that in there. The thing is, we're gonna have to localize all that text and everything. Character had low health. Well, that was the idea. Thin on thin ice, thin. Very minimal amount of bullets, no, like one hit kill. You know, that was the idea. Am I ever gonna make a game where you die in one hit again? Honestly, man, no, probably not. I think making a game where you die in one hit, it exacerbates. What's the fucking word I'm trying to look for? Exacerbates. It makes something bad worse, right? So it's like, if you die to a bug with only having 1 health, it makes the bug feel worse than if you were to get damaged by a bug, but you still had like a health bar, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? You guys know what I mean? Yeah, being only in 1 health causes a lot of issues, for sure. Yeah, more room for error. Having a health bar allows for a lot more room for error. And I bet you a lot of players playing the game probably would have wanted a health bar. Casualify it a bit more, I suppose. Which is fine. Like, I have thought about it. I don't know how I would implement one, though. Like, I don't know what we would do for a health bar. I would just put a health bar in, I guess. I don't know. But just play on the lowest difficulty. You get like 3 armor. Okay. I'm just trying to think of what I'm going to do for the condensed crosshair. Which games inspired me? There's a bunch. Like John Wick Hex, technically, was the marketing aspect. I guess the market aspect, where it's like you see a lot of people wanting kind of style game in that way, and then kind of leaning into it a little bit. Then you got like Midnight Fight Express was cool because they released around the same time that I was working on my game, and I was like, wow, it looks good. There's Sifu, Batman. There's Hong Kong Massacre. There's Max Payne a little bit. What else? I don't know. Probably a bunch of other games that I can't remember right now. It's probably a bunch of games that I can't remember. And then a whole bunch of movies. Whole bunch of action movies, really. Hotline Miami. Yeah, Hotline Miami. Although I'm going to be honest, Hotline Miami wasn't on the docket until later on, because obviously I knew, oh, this is like a very good top-down game. I'm going to be completely honest. I tried out Hotline Miami. I think I tried it on controller or something. I don't remember what I tried it on. The controls felt like shit. It feels a little outdated, which is funny to say. Now maybe I need to try it again, but the last time I tried it, I was like trying to do it to, you know, get some ideas of things to look out for in terms of like standards for top down. I don't know. Something felt wrong about it. Something felt off. Now, I haven't tried Hotline Miami 2, so I don't know if they've improved upon that, but Hotline Miami technically is pretty old, so. Oxo? It sounds familiar. I think they have like a red logo or something. Sounds familiar. Let's see. Oxo. Yes. Yeah. Yes, I do remember. You know what also I think throws me off is I don't really like orthographic top down. Like directly top down. Like 90 degrees from top to bottom, or from top to bottom. Yeah, from top to bottom. I don't really like that camera angle personally. I actually prefer like more, you know, I guess like this. More isometric-ish, I guess, even though this isn't really isometric. I prefer the tilted camera angle a lot more, I think. Although at one point I did think about adding in as an additional setting for players that really like that kind of style. I did think about adding the actual top to bottom camera angle as another camera setting. But at some point I gotta tell myself, okay, stop. Stop. At some point I could be like, okay, stop this. Psychopath. What? The controls are the same in Hotline Miami 1 and 2. I don't know what I found was off with it. I know something was off with it. I don't remember what it was though. In Hong Kong Massacre, I found it offsetting. What did Hong Kong Massacre do for their camera? Hong Kong Massacre. Oh right, yeah. This looks like it's top to bottom as well, but in a 3D perspective. I just don't like it, man. I don't know why. It's kind of nauseating. It's a little nauseating. Like it looks cool, the effects and everything look cool, but in some areas it almost looks like the camera is it's not like this, it's like down, and then almost kind of looks like it's tilting in the opposite direction. Like I'm gonna get sick. I don't know, I just don't like the top to bottom camera angle. Even in 3D, 2D, I'm not a fan, I think. Like visually this shot looks really cool. I just wish the camera wasn't the way it was. I guess. Now, here's the problem with doing a camera angle like the one that we have here. Aiming becomes problematic. It's a lot harder to detect where you're aiming and top down. That's one thing that becomes a lot more challenging with that camera angle, unfortunately. So yeah, that's the problem there. All right. I think we have a pretty good image of what needs to be done for this week. So that's pretty good. A little back into it stream. I think tomorrow I'll do a longer stream. I'm just going to try to start earlier rather than 3 p.m. But we have some ideas of what we'd want to do. Disable FOV/zoom effects when going into time focus for UE VR mode. Okay, I can get that done this week. What are some bugs that we can potentially fix? Some big ones. Player can see enemy silhouettes through themselves. Right. That's because of the shader. How would I fix that? Shit. I'm gonna have to think about that one. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, good stream. Thanks for dropping by, everybody. I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna eat some food and stuff because I'm getting pretty hungry. And maybe we can do the condensed crosshair. Although what we should do is maybe the grappling/grabbing tutorial. Should probably put that in the game. That would be pretty important. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thanks for dropping by, everybody. Thanks for lurking, chatting, sticking around. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully earlier, and we'll do a longer stream. I also have to do a little bit of contract work. I feel like I haven't done any of that, so I do want to help out there as well. So I need to do that as well. Yep. All right. Goodbye. See you later. Tomorrow.